Hi, guys, and welcome back to the 36th episode of the Couch on Ice podcast. I'm your host, Rhylan. Before we get into our Pacific Division review, let's introduce the other boys. Chase, how's it going there in Saskatoon?
Not too shabby, not too shabby. All good here. How about yourself? How you going?
Not too bad. Nice and hot out this morning, so I can't complain. But
Hot
Jordan,
out.
it's
I
nice
guess it's
and hot
kind
out.
of warm. It's not bad.
It looks pretty hot out right now. I'm steaming upstairs here, so I'm also still inside. So, but no, it's not too bad. How's it going in Musha there, Jordan?
Oh, a lot better today. It's
A lot better.
Yesterday was fucking cold and windy, and like you said, it is warming up. Today is supposed to be like mid-20s, and then tomorrow I think it's supposed to be like mid-30s. So
yeah, let's hope today is better than yesterday, and we don't have to
'cause it was
re-record this again.
Yeah, that was
that
fun.
sucked. Yeah, yesterday we recorded the podcast, got it all done, and found out that my audio was corrupted and it didn't work. So we have to redo this week. Redo the review. So we're gonna
Corruption.
Corruption. Yep, corrupted video. So we're going to be geniuses when it comes to Pacific Division because we're gonna hash this shit out twice. So should we just get straight into it and discuss this division?
Oh yeah. The division that now has a new team in it, hey?
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah,
Cool.
the strongest division. Yeah.
Yeah, they really gave him a nice place to settle in, hey?
Yeah, at least this isn't the division like last year where you only play your division, because this would be Vegas going undefeated all year.
Just 120 points.
Yeah,
130
Vegas will get like 150 points in 80 games.
We might as well kick it off with Vegas. It's the only shining light of this group.
Yeah, they're literally the one team that's going to be in the top 10 that I see in the league.
That's crazy.
In this division. So
Vegas brought in
not great.
this offseason Evgeny Dadonov, Nolan Patrick, and Brett Howden. Losing.
Sorry, that didn't happen yet.
We'll see about that one. I don't think he's going anywhere.
It doesn't look like it's going to happen anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
Boy,
Jesus
man,
Christ.
I don't know if he's playing hockey.
Trade deadline.
They lost Cody Glass, Marc-Andre Fleury, and Ryan Reeves.
And Nick Holden, too. Can't forget about the beast on defense, Nick Holden.
Yeah, he's a beauty. He's actually done quite a bit for some teams in the last quite a while. Actually,
yeah, he's
that
not
guy.
bad.
For
Chase,
being just a plugger.
Did you want to give your review on this team quick? You want to kick her off?
Oh, God. Like, geez. If you want to put me on the spot first, I guess so. I can do that. It's no problem. So, yeah, Vegas, obviously, like I said, they're the only team that I have in this division that's going to finish in the top 10 in the league, which I have them finishing about 6-7, around there-ish. Well, basically, their penalty kill was a huge, huge reason last year why they were the best penalty kill team last year. So, super great there. But the only issue is the power play. Power play has been a real shit time for them. I don't really truly understand why, but I guess
because they don't have a center.
Yeah, like really, you don't really need a centerman on the power play unless that's why you're not winning faceoffs. I don't know. I don't understand. But yeah, that's one thing they've really got to improve on. But they're probably not going to. I wouldn't think if it hasn't already. But it should be something they should be able to do. You know, like why are you so bad on the power play? But no, love this team. They have a decent schedule, like their own division schedule. We get to play LA and Anaheim 4 times, but not really anything that's going to change the scale. So they'll easily eat up this division like it's nothing. My biggest X factor for this team is Alec Martinez. I believe he's going to be very key to them actually sustaining the pace that they've been playing at, because I'm not really worried about anybody else in any other positions. Their goaltending's, I think, great. Like getting the Brisket in behind Leonard, that was a
Yeah.
great acquisition. That made it worked so well with him behind Hellebuck last year. It'll probably be the same sort of situation with Leonard, just having a nice, comfortable guy behind you,
Yeah.
and Leonard can just go nuts, taking on the whole load. Other than that, like like I said, they're a top four defense. I have them or they're fourth. Had them in the top five. Like when we did that, this team's so good. Like it's just how it is. I wish they could get an Eichel, and this pushes them to probably being a top team, like one, two, or three, finishing at the end. I would say
hope
one.
so. I
would
hope
say
so.
one because they have that because they're in this division.
Yes.
So like I think if you can get Eichel, I think you can easily get to the top of the league just because of
first in the league, easy games.
The extra easier games and stuff like that.
Plus it's Jack Eichel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's pretty good at hockey, isn't he?
Yeah, he's not bad. You know, second overall to just some scrub named Connor McDavid.
But yeah, but I do believe they can survive easily without Eichel. They don't need him. In all reality, they have the old shooting star, like really hoping for Nolan Patrick there. Like he can really. He was very highly touted. He's very good. He's very skilled. It's a possibility. This guy can. I'm not saying instantly, but like as the year progresses, if he can get ready and at least be like a decent second line type of centerman or something like that, that's going to be great for them in the playoffs and stuff like that. Especially with the fact you have Stephenson. He's been just the fire starter of the team ever since he came here. It's just like having another Marchessault or something like that out there. It's just awesome. I know Krebs has a chance to play. I don't see him really in the lineup, but there is a spot if they really want to push him in there.
I think he'll get some ice time.
He'll definitely play a little bit this year.
I would think so, right?
Without a doubt, he'll play a little bit unless he's traded.
No doubt. Unless he's traded in this deal, no doubt.
Like if Eichel's on this team, we all know Peyton Krebs ain't on this team anymore. So that's where it's at. Hey,
I'll say what everybody said. The Dadonov trade. I don't know why I guess it was because they want to trade Smith in this Eichel deal. I don't know what's going on there. It's just strange. If they go in with all these wingers, I guess it's not bad having Smith, but Smith or Dadonov will be playing third line, which is kind of nice with Patrick, or if they put Stephenson down there later on. I don't know. It's just it's kind of a weird bunch, but the wingers are obviously amazing. You got the scary centerman still, but these guys are a little bit older, and Stephenson, maybe he can be great. Maybe Patrick can get himself together. Other than that, like I'm not seeing anything too amazing. I put him up with a better power play this year in the mid pack, but I'm not sold that's going to happen. I'm not really sold they're going to be as good on the PK as they were as well, which that was pretty amazing. Being first, like I don't know how many times do you repeat that sort of stuff. So but I like the team. They're going to be first in this division. There's no stopping it, and easily in the top 10 in the league.
For sure. Vegas is great. They're obviously a top team. They're in a conference final last year. They've been a cup favorite since they've been in the league pretty much since after their first season. Nothing's changed. Like Chase said, lacking center depth for sure. I like Nolan Patrick. He's got an opportunity, definitely a big opportunity for this team. If he can take that changes a lot. My X factor for this team, it's gotta be the power play, like you mentioned. If they could start scoring more, this team's already so good defensively that they just need to start putting the puck in the net more. And they don't have any superstar on their team. Like you can class Mark Stone or Pietrangelo, I guess, but they're not offensive dynamos at all. Like I wouldn't.
They're not super duper stars.
No, and Max Pacioretty ain't either. The only he's got a hell of a shot, and he's a great player, but he's not a super duper star, right? Minnesota has a better player on their team, and they haven't for decades. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Vegas, they're just good. They got great decor, great goaltending. I love everything about it. They're clearly getting first. That's all I'll say. This division's so bad, and they're so good.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, like it's too easy. It's just yeah, I don't know if you really need the centerman or not. It's befuddling me. I'm just not sure if you need to do it. Like maybe Patrick can pull this out, or
Yeah,
Stephenson, or Krebs, or something like that.
it
Like
still kind
it's
of
it,
looks lackluster on paper. Like it
yeah,
looks lackluster, but you know it's not. It's really weird team, but that's how they've always played. They've always
yeah.
been harder working than other teams. They roll 4 lines deep, and all
Hmm.
four are
Yeah.
gonna play a lot of minutes.
Like
They
I know, like I know they're not getting the centerman. They don't have the centerman, and that's clearly the issue, and that's clearly what they need to fix, and blah blah blah. But I think after a year and after a year, like I think they're getting closer to the cup. I don't think they're
no,
getting. You know what I'm saying? I don't
I
think
know
they're
what you're
like if they
saying.
don't get a centerman, I don't think they have less of a chance like they did any other year.
Right.
Like I think they can still do this without like that Eichel. But
Yeah, they
like, wouldn't it be
can
just? It seems so simple to like go grab Ryan Strome or like try to get
yeah
somebody
just
just
go for
to make
someone.
sure that you've got a
Hurdle,
little bit more
Strom,
salt.
like
Yeah,
there's tons of
exactly. Hey.
guys available right now. I get they're not cheap, but
Mm, mm.
you got to pay to play. And if you're at this point, you're Vegas. At what point? I mean, I shouldn't say at what point do you just say fuck it and just go for it because they've been doing that every year. But
Yeah, but
like,
those times they
like
said fuck it, I need this guy. They
yeah,
didn't say fuck it, I'm just going for the Stanley Cup to make
that's
this move. Like
exactly
it's
it.
more like I need Stone because we're never gonna just get
Yes.
this guy. We don't have draft picks. We didn't do any of this shit, you know? Like we have these draft picks, but we can use them to get an actual
Yeah.
for sure this guy. Like this is a
Like the
guy,
best
Petrangelo,
defensive.
Stone,
Yeah.
sort of stuff like that. Patches, this is a real guy, like,
Oh
you know.
yes.
Do you
Yes,
want
like they got some
Suzuki right
good.
now, or do you want Suzuki last year, the last 2 years, or do you want Patches in the last 2 years? You want Patches. He's been unfucking real, like is a veteran, that sort of shit. Like they they boosted their team to be an actual fucking like competitive team. They're not just like the misfits, They
Yeah.
created the misfits and they've got Mark Stone, Patches, Petrangelo.
Yeah,
That's
the
and
only
that's what I'm scared
fear.
about. Do you need the Eichel to
Yeah.
push you over the hump? Do you need that extra to finish the first line?
Yeah, my fear for this team is honestly the office, and that's because of they're so willing to just trade anyone away. And I know we say we want that in hockey, and I know I've said that how many times. Like, just trade this guy. Who cares? Like, get rid of him. Like, it
Yeah.
it really sucks for the players, and players don't want to go places that they're gonna be moved on from quickly. There's no point to them. A lot of players go places where they want to end their careers or play a majority if they can. And I know it's a business, but Vegas definitely like that Fleury situation trading. Hey, you two, name me right now who is the goalie traded for Fleury. Remember his name? And
Well, I
from
thought it was a
Chicago?
forward. I thought it was like Hakkinen or Hakkarainen or
It's
something like that.
something like that, but we don't even
I
know his position.
I
Pretty sure.
thought it was a bag of chips, so I'm surprised they actually got a player.
Yeah, like it's.
I think the
and
bag
that
of chips was a condition.
Oh, I see.
and that was their like guy. That was their face of their team was Fleury, and they just kind of dropped him. And I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
and then
sit
just
here and
replaced him
pretend
with
that.
Dadonov
Yeah, and I'm not
instead.
gonna sit here and pretend
We,
like it's not a business and like it's not a factor. Like, yes, they were paying 2 goalies up to $12 million, and it was unnecessary. But when you
yeah, the
promise a
only
guy, I don't know. I just wonder how many players are actually going to be happy there if they keep just getting rid of anyone
but they
for a
haven't
new shiny
really.
toy.
They haven't been getting rid of anybody for a new shiny toy. They've been trading for actual pieces, like just trading prospects that aren't truly on the team contributing. And that's what they're trading to get
Yeah, but
like
there isn't
pieces
a
to
lot of
play
guys from the
for the
original
next
team.
several years. what do you mean? There's Marcel Carlson, Dadanov, Touch,
Dadonov's not original.
Theodore, or not, sorry, not Dadanov. Smith is what I meant to say.
Let's-
Technically, I guess Krebs is still there. White Cloud and
Like,
Hager. I guess no, those
It's
guys.
not
Haig might have
really
been
a
from the
lot
trade.
though, hey?
Is McNabb? McNabb is still there, I guess.
Like their whole goaltending's different.
Well, yeah,
They're
that like it wasn't going to be surprising for them to make moves. Like they chose to make this decision to use their draft capital to like create an actual team, and then they'll deal with the whole. Like I don't think they're moving anything. Like after this, like I don't think they're doing much more other than maybe trading for a centerman. Like I don't think you're touching too much of this group for the next quite a while, unless like Dadanov and Smith, like, you know, you got to lose your one guy. It's natural. You need to have that continuous kind of sort of movement out and in.
true.
So then it's fresh and
They are getting
everybody
rid
kind
of
of stays.
a lot
you
of
know?
heart, though, is what I'm saying. Like a lot of what made Vegas so great and why people wanted to be there at the culture is a lot of it's gone. Like Fleury, Ryan Reeves, Nick Holden there. Who are the other defensemen that were there the first year? I'm running a blank. Who's like their captain? Their captain,
They had that
not
Derek
captain.
England that was
yeah.
from Vegas. And
I mean,
stuff
I know
like that.
he's older, and retired.
Yeah, like I said, things got to evolve. Things got to move on. You were only going to be that like misfit team for. You can only do it for so long. You can't just like keep just get you. What would they do? They would if they would have kept that way. They would have kept trading anybody that did good, and then just fucking signed some dude and then played him. So like they'd be doing the same thing except with shittier players and somehow trying to do this.
Yeah,
they decided to take all their draft capital.
Look, I'm not against Vegas trading for all these guys.
I see what you're saying.
I'm just saying
it's
at
an
what
evolving
point
thing, you know?
Yeah, I'm just saying there's got to be an exception for some players, and it doesn't seem like there is in Vegas like there is in other places, where you show them there doesn't seem to be as much respect between the office and the players in Vegas as there is in many other teams. That's what I'm just trying to say. And I know this is not every person's gonna think that way, but if some people start thinking that way and they stop playing the Vegas way, they're gonna struggle. And you need, we've seen why you need a good run dressing room to be successful. Look at San Jose. Like I would say listen to last episode to hear what we talked about yesterday, but we are redoing it now. But like San Jose on paper are a great team. They're just terrible in the dressing room because everyone's pissed off, and you can't run a business without thinking about people at times.
Yeah, like you got to assume they're. Yeah, no, I see what you're saying for sure. Yeah. Like it's kind of an odd situation. It does seem like they're a little cutthroat, but I think that's kind of the push they're going for, sort of thing. Like it's
absolutely
go big or go home every second of the day. Sorry, like it's nothing against you, but like we need this, and we're going for this, and we're not sure about you doing this for us. So next guy up, sort of thing.
To defend Vegas as well, like what they're doing is incredible. They're one of the best teams in the league. They've been in the league for, is this their 5th season?
5.
This is 5, I think. Like they're a great team. They've done very well. I just have some small concerns. I'm trying to poke holes in a bad team to make these other teams feel better as well.
I'm trying to give them a reason to believe they can actually win the cup, because obviously the last 2 years proved without a centerman you cannot win the cup. Vegas, you need a centerman. You need a centerman. But like they're gonna make a move for a centerman. They have Dadanov, they have Smith, and they have Touch that's gonna be hurt for like till December or January or something like that. So look for him to come back and just be a force, but they'll most likely make a move for a centerman. I'm assuming. I don't know what the hell's going on here, but
so
this team's not going to be any worse. That's fucking for sure.
Well, I think we pretty much just set our demise right there discussing it too. It's them at center. They don't have a center. They don't have a number 1 center. I love William Karlsson as their second line center, but you need someone to play with Stone and Pacioretty. You just need a good center for those two. And like Stevenson's good. He is very good. He's just not a first line center. That's it. So hopefully Nolan Patrick can step in. And
Like he does the job because he has such good wingers around him.
Exactly.
But, yeah,
Hopefully he does well because he's playing on such a good team. So
yeah.
we'll see how it goes. But yeah, Vegas, they're going to get first. We've been going long on Vegas, though. We should probably move on to the next team because we've been harping on them. First place, right? All of us first place? Yeah.
First.
Pretty obvious. So unless, Jordan, you have your 2 cents on Vegas?
Yeah, do you have any hidden gems on the Vegas we didn't bring up?
No, I think that it's going to be a big year for Robin Lehner, right? Now the Nets has, so he's got to prove that he was the one to keep.
Yeah, for sure.
No doubt.
I don't have any doubts on Robin Lehner. I think he's great.
No, me neither. I absolutely love Lehner as a player. And as a
are
person,
even better. Yeah, his tweets are even better. So go follow him on Twitter. He's a good laugh.
Yeah,
he makes fun of the NHL all the time.
And he's got great opinions.
Yeah, he does. Shall we move on?
Next, we're moving on to Vancouver. So Vancouver did a lot this offseason. They started off by bringing in Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Connor Garland, Dickinson, Halak, Luke Shen, and Travis Hamonic. They lost Cole Lind in the expansion draft. They bought out Braden Holtby, and they lost Edler to the free agency.
Yeah, going to the good old LA Kings. Yeah, I'll start off Vancouver here. I got a lot to say about Vancouver, if I'm being honest. So let's start off with my X Factor and demise, because they're the same damn person. Jim Benning. Jim Benning, don't fuck this up for Vancouver. With Pettersson and Hughes. Get them signed. Just get them signed. Like, honestly, for the first time in my life, I'm less worried about money with Benning and more worried about just get them kind of signed and make this like this team has a chance.
Like, why
to do
are
well.
these guys lingering? Like, even
I don't know.
Just noticed the other day. Like, well, yeah, right. He's not even signed yet. Like,
yeah, there's Brady Tkachuk. There's a couple guys that they're lingering. This can't linger much longer. I'm pretty sure there's a week till training camp, till like official training camp starts is next week. I'm pretty sure, or the week after.
I already watched my wings. I watched Lucas Raymond snipe a Gino last night.
Like,
so
the prospects. Exactly, the prospects camp is already going on right now. I'm pretty sure it ends this weekend, if not already. And they need to be there. Pettersson and Hughes need to be there. They need to be at camp. They need to be ready there with the team. If this team can gel, there's a lot of good about it. They got a good decor. They got really deep decor is what I'll say too. They got Rathbone, Ulevy to come up. One of those two will play at all times. And I think one of them is going to have a really good season next year. I know a lot of people are a big fan of this Jack Rathbone.
It sounds like he's got the shoe in from what I'm hearing.
Sounds like it. And it doesn't look like Vancouver kind of likes Ole Ulevy anyways. They've kind of shown that past 2 years when he's probably been able to get more games than he has. But, I mean, you're playing Tyler Myers. How much worse can your decor get? But, no, offensively, I think the Connor Garland signing is amazing. I think that helps them. He is the Toffoli replacement from last year. Like, he replaces that, and I think he might be better than Toffoli at certain things.
At least younger.
He's a bit younger, exactly. I think he's 2 years younger than Toffoli, which is nice. And he's on a little bit more of a pay than Toffoli, which is kind of funny that Benning said they ran out of time to sign him, but they ran out of money. But I don't know. I really like Garland. I think he was one of the very few bright spots in the desert for that team, and I know they loved him. If you can score 20 goals on a team that doesn't score, that's so impressive.
Yeah, man. Like, the Zona Coyote, they were pretty damn good on the power play last year. Like,
and Garland was
surprisingly good, like above the halfway mark. Like because of the guys like that. And,
they have good players. I know I'm tanging off to Arizona here for a second, but like for a power play lineup, it sounds good. Yeah, he made that impact. Now he's gonna be playing with Hughes, Pettersson, Miller, and like Besser or Horvat or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And then obviously with Podkolzin and Hoglander, those two young wingers, they look so good. And this Podkolzin was supposed to go 3rd overall in his draft year, dropped to 10th because teams didn't know if he had come over from Russia. So I watched him play a couple games. He's good at everything. So be on the watch out for him. I think he'll get
huge on Nils Hoglander for a while now.
Yeah, he's shocked Vancouver
player.
Last year at camp. Very exciting, like you said.
I love Hoglander for sure.
He just took over Louis Eriksson's number. He's now the new 21.
No way.
Amazing.
He's carrying on the torch.
I really like Hoglander, and I hope he's successful. But it would be funny if the Louis Eriksson effect hit him, and he has to change his number just to pot a goal.
Yeah, the Swedes can't get away from that number on that team, I guess.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, no, I really love how Hoglander played last year, but I'd like to see him play with Dickinson on the third line. I think that makes them the best. If they can get Podkolzin and lighten it up.
Spread out the lines.
Garland and Horvat, or however you want to do your top six with Podkolzin in there.
Yeah, if you could go with the third line with Dickinson, Hoglander, and Pearson. Like, that sounds so good.
Yeah, like he's just fire out there, so I don't know. I love the forward group. That's for sure.
Yes.
That's for sure.
And they got a goalie who made more saves than expected than any other goalie last year. And Vancouver was like, what were they? Second last, third last in the North Division? Like
they were. Yeah.
They were
just almost don't want to bring up last year.
Yeah, true.
These guys, I'm sure they're trying not to think about it at all.
Well, that's why I brought up one good player out of last year. Like Demko is incredible. And people worrying about whether he can do it, he can do it, guys. He's definitely got a chance to become one of the better goalies in the league if Vancouver can be more successful.
Yeah.
Like, he could carry this D.
Something I saw about Thatcher Demko that absolutely impressed me was that he's literally got some of the, like, his moves in net down to, like, a mathematical science. Like, for the reasoning of why he does it.
Interesting.
Like, it was really interesting. I can't remember a lot of it now, and it's such a shame because it was extremely interesting.
The goalie position's crazy. It's so cool when like they get like a year or two in or something like that, or like watching guys from the dub and stuff and going up. It's so awesome because all of a sudden one time you just watch them play and they're just sound. They're not doing any extra movements whatsoever. Like they're just technically, exactly. They all of a sudden look like Carey Price, and you're just like, or they look like another goalie. You're just like, holy,
no,
it's just it's so cool. it's amazing how all of a sudden you just become an NHL goalie. You just look like
it kind of happens overnight. Hey, like, have you noticed that goalies, they don't necessarily get more skilled or anything than what they are in junior. Like, typically when they get to junior, a little bit better than that. They are what they are, but they just get timing. It's all about timing and positioning in that. Like, you can be
understanding the
best
league.
shot stopper ever, but if your positioning's woeful and your timing's off, your stats are going to be pretty piss poor. Like, it's like, that's why Carey Price is so good, or was, I should say. I don't know. He's been bad in regular season, but great in the playoffs. Either way, Habs fans will yell at me.
So I found what I was talking about with Demko. It's his toe ties. Apparently, he has it down based on the circumference of the post. He has his toe tie length based off of that.
Interesting.
Sweet.
Right.
Goalies are weird, man.
Yeah, goalies are weird.
But
to stand in the fucking net and get blasted at
by 100 kilometer hour rubber.
Exactly, right. Goalies are weird. So you got to be either really weird or just really smart.
Or both. I think they're all a little. But yeah.
Right. They're all probably a little bit because they're flexible as shit too.
Yeah, exactly. God, just thinking of it hurts my groin.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, last year, what do we got for stats on the old Vancouver? Mid-pack in the penalty kill.
Yeah, I think they'll be better this year too.
Horrible on the power play.
Dickinson.
I think the addition of OEL
25th.
Huge.
25th in power play. That's tough.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. Holy.
Yeah,
but that'll help.
Obviously, that's going to bounce back. Hey,
that'll bounce back.
You know,
Patterson was hurt last year. Besser.
There.
Yeah, they'll be middle to high. Oh, excuse me.
So where do we rank this team?
Yeah, I went on a long-winded rant and didn't even tell where I put this team. So this is confusing. Why? Because I have like 3 or 4 teams in the same spot, and they can interchange however they want. But I think Vancouver, if they can stay healthy and Jim Benning doesn't fuck it up, they'll be 3rd. I think this team looks really good. They got all the right pieces in all the right places. It seems like they're ready to take a step forward. So I got them in 3rd.
Yeah, I fully agree.
But they are very close to 4th, 5th, and 6th. So
yeah, I completely agree.
Take that with what you will.
That middle pack is just going to be so tight. I've got them at 4th, but I do completely agree. It's going to be within a game or 2.
Yeah, within a couple points, it'll be
right
for some of these teams in the Pacific, and it might not be for a good reason. Within points, it might be pretty low, but whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It might not be good.
But
yeah,
Chase,
I got them finishing 15th in the league, and then like
it's like in the Pacific.
Yeah, 15th in the Pacific.
I was like, holy, they're way worse than San Jose.
Right? just an even worse COVID year. You thought last year was bad, Vancouver. Oh boy. no, like they're 3rd, obviously, like I said, in the Pacific, but yeah, 15th overall. So they're hitting like the mid pack of the league. Like they're not gonna get over that sort of hump. I don't think they'll get over the mid pack. They'll probably might even could finish lower. I feel like that west side's not going to finish very high, but it's hard to say that because they might get extra points just because their division's not great. One good thing about their team is they have a half-ass decent schedule, like division schedule.
Yeah.
Or sorry, they have a bad division schedule.
The bad one.
Yeah, the teams they play 3 times, the 2 teams they play 3 times are San Jose and LA. So that kind of fucking sucks.
Yeah, that sucks.
So you got to play everybody good, and the Anaheim at least has a good defense and could be a pain in the ass with Gibson. So like that's
maybe
not like I don't know. I've been kind of thinking about that. Who do you want to play? Like some teams.
Some teams play better against
like Vancouver. Who do you? Like I'd rather play LA and like San Jose.
Yeah, I'd rather play
Anaheim.
LA. I'd rather play LA because their defense is weaker and their goaltending is a question mark. That's the only reason why. But their offense is better. But Demko's in that. Like, yeah, I don't know. And like all in all, like, it's gonna be a close division. So
so like horrible power play last year, but this year I don't see why that would happen again. Pedersen's on like last 3 years 25 points on the power play. Hughes getting 29 points in the last couple of years. Bozer 22 points in the last 4 years. You got lots of guys. Horvat's even on a 15 points the last 6 years. Garland at 13 points the last 3 years. So you're gonna easily get some. Their first line power play is gonna be a fun time to watch.
Gonna be good.
It should be.
Can I give a quick hot take on Vancouver?
No, not allowed.
I have their head coach Travis Green this next year. They're gonna, let's say if they miss playoffs, they're gonna fire Travis Green. Travis Green's gonna go somewhere else and be super good for them.
Yeah, man.
Whoever he goes,
I love him.
he's just such a good coach, but I guarantee he'll be fired before Benning. I guarantee it. Like, it's just one of those.
Oh man, exactly. There's a couple situations where I see that it's like, the
it's
coach
like how
the GM should be guy. Like the Calgary situation, bringing in Daryl Sutter and like that. Not like no Treliving. This is your fault.
Yeah, no kidding.
This has nothing to do with the coaches you're bringing in and shit like that. Like. Everything outside of that is also not working. So fuck, Jesus.
Well, speaking of Treliving, should we move on to Calgary?
Yeah, man, I like that. Calgary made some puzzling moves this offseason.
Say the least.
Right? Like they brought in Nikita Zadorov, Pitlick, Blake Coleman, and nearly $2 million Eric Gudbranson. They lost Derek Ryan and, of course, captain Mark Giordano.
Yeah. Oh my God. This is
the biggest loss for sure.
Yeah. Chase,
the only thing I got going for this team, the only positive I got for you is their division schedule.
Yeah.
That's all you got. You get to play Vegas 3 times, Calgary. Yay.
One less time.
One less game against bad person. But yeah, no, this team I've got them just so far down. I've graded them as good as I can. Like I think I graded them as good as they could possibly be. Unless like my X factor is their power play being in the top 10. They do that, they're in the playoffs, I think.
Yeah.
But their power play was not that last year. It was 21st. Their PK's decent, mid-pack, 15th there, so that's not bad. But I feel like I gave them at least a mid-pack power play percentage, a little bit higher, so I can see that. But yeah, it needs to be amazing for them to actually make the playoffs, because I'm really loving the PK with Coleman in here. I think their PK and Zadorov and whatnot. I don't think their PK is going to get worse. I think it's going to get better this year. I have it in the top 10 PKs in the league right now. Markstrom obviously is great. I'm not so like Hellebuck trust and those kind of guys, Leonard trust and that sort of stuff, but he is your Costco of that.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want to say, but
I think he'll be fine. I'm not too worried.
Yeah, he's
about
fine.
him.
It's really not something you need to be worried about. Exactly.
His numbers are going to look worse. I will promise you that right now. Markstrom's numbers will look worse this year. Maybe not worse, but not as good as they were in Vancouver. Let's put it that way. He's not going to seem as good, but that's because, oh my God, this decor sucks.
Yeah, it's just not mind-blowing. Like
it's just
I feel
nothing.
like I said it already, which I already have several times, but like even when we did the Calgary GMs, like this is Hannafin and Anderson, like we really need
them to step up. If they don't step up, they're screwed.
Anderson or somebody needs to play on the power play. You have nobody that has any sort of stats whatsoever on the power play from the last quite a while.
Is what it
and it's probably going to be Anderson because you have a bunch of lefties and Kachuk, Monahan, Goudreau, and you got Lindholm and Anderson. Makes a perfect setup. But yeah, Anderson, you got to get easy 40, 50 points this year.
Yes.
Probably 20 on the power play, and then you guys can maybe make the playoffs. But it's a pretty big stretch. Hannafin would also have to, along with him, step up and be the guy we all want him to be.
He needs to get 40 points and needs to be like a plus. I know plus don't mean everything, but he needs to be a plus like 20.
I mean, realistically, 30. He has to be the number one.
Yes, right? That's exactly what it is. He needs to replace Giordano.
Exactly.
Great way to
now
put it.
Has the reins.
Yeah, him or Anderson.
What do you think his chances are of stepping up? Like I have him at like maybe a 30-40 chance. Like I don't have much of a Hannafin really taking it well and exceeding in it. Like
this year probably I have him down at like as well as you 30-40% because of who he's playing with. Like that's a big factor as well. Like I know he's probably gonna be playing with Chris Tanev, who's like super good at what he does. Like he's really good defensively. But I just feel like the pressure is going to be a lot on Hannafin. I feel like he's going to watch the second decor, the third decor struggle, and then he's going to be like, oh, fuck, I can't let them score. And then he's going to struggle. I think it's going to be a lot of pressure on him this year. Do I think he can do it ever? I do. I really like Hannafin. I like his game. I like what he can bring to a team.
They made when they
Love
made that
the trade. They were going to lose.
The two trades they've made with Carolina were just perfect. Like
they were for both teams. They really were both teams great. I think
Hannafin's right in that area that
he's got. I think give him time. He's still 24. Like I know,
like this could be a good year for him to.
Yeah, it could be. So. I'd say next year. I think next year he will. But for myself,
the standards and everything, hey, it's too high for him this year.
Yeah, it's that's just it. It's a pressure. Pressure might.
It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, a lot of these guys.
Ultimately, he'll be a great defenseman.
I think he's gonna be a very good defenseman.
Yeah, exactly. But right now, he just has a lot of pressure, and they're gonna be asking a lot from him.
Yes.
So.
No, he's gonna be like he's gonna be on the same threshold of like a Josh Morrissey type, where he's gonna have great years. But he's definitely gonna have some bad years in there too. I feel like he's not gonna be very consistent throughout his career in the sense of being a number one, but he's gonna be good. I think. Know what I mean by that with Morrissey? Yeah. Morrissey's never been.
So how do we rank this team then?
Oh, I got 6th.
Yeah, that's where I have him too.
Wait, is it 6th? Did I say 6th? Yeah, 6th.
Yeah, that's where I'm sitting.
But like I said, 3-6 to me is so close. If Matthew Tkachuk can take this team on his back and really turn it around, I have a lot more faith in this team. But other than that, I got nothing.
Or who knows? Maybe there's a Monahan trade coming.
Oh, I'd hope so.
I don't see it, but I would really like it. I think that they do need a shake up. He's a good leader, but I do think they could bring in another guy.
Yeah, I would definitely like to bring in someone else for Monahan personally. I don't know. Calgary's just kind of in that boat where they either have to wait to rebuild or they got to just go for it. Like,
yeah.
They're kind of do or die.
Like they're like a puzzle you can't understand, man. Like, do you do anything? Do you take?
Exactly.
Do you change it? Do you,
they haven't done anything that hasn't worked. So they got worse this year. I feel like they're gonna do bad this year, and
I feel like
Tree Living might get fired. That would be nice.
That would be amazing, wouldn't it? I think
if you're a
one
Flames
day,
fan, like maybe not even just for like Tree Living being like making a wrong decision. Maybe you just need a new voice. Like that happens all the time. You just need change. Just need a different voice to come in and tell you what's right. Same with Pittsburgh. Like I think on getting Hextall for me. I love Rutherford. Rutherford was the best GM in Pittsburgh history, without a doubt. Brought us 2 cups. Was amazing. Built this team so good. But we just needed a change, and it might be same boat for Calgary. They just might need a new GM to make some moves.
Yeah, like I got him hitting 22nd overall, 5th in the Pacific. That's as good as I can see him doing, unless, like I said, their power play does amazing. But this is one of the teams where this is the top of the peak for you guys, basically, for me. Yes. And it's probably going to go worse than that this year. So if you want to be a betting guy and be that guy that can figure out or bet on the team that ends up fucking way worse than you think, probably going to be Calgary, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Calgary. They don't.
Though they're not.
Craziest thing is,
putting them in the playoffs. But.
I look at them; they're not that bad on paper. They really aren't. No, like Coleman coming in, that's not bad.
They can do this.
And know what we talked about last week? Why did you sign Zadorov at 3.7, trade for him, and sign Gudbranson at $2 million when Nick Leddy was available for trade? When you need a quarterback on your power play, you probably need a top 4 left-handed D-man. Like, it seemed like a perfect fit. Why don't you do that instead? You could have had Coleman and him instead of Gudbranson.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey. I'm not saying I don't like them.
And then you could have maybe you could have signed Gudbranson for a little bit less, maybe. I don't know. Obviously not.
Apparently not. Apparently it's worth $2 million, but yeah, I don't know. This team it's going to be a disappointing year in Calgary. I feel like
like the one thing they needed was a Nick Leddy, and they clearly missed that boat or something. They missed the boat big time. So. And they have 2 second-round picks. Like they got they got that pick from Sam Bennett. Like you could have easily gave the second-round pick.
Well, maybe they'll call Seattle. Maybe they'll call Seattle, and Seattle can give them one of their 37 D-men.
Maybe got an extra guy for sure.
They got an extra guy or two. They could probably give up someone for like a second. But no, ready to move on?
Yeah. So next we've got Anaheim, which there's not much to say. They didn't do much. They added nobody. They lost Hayden Fleury in the expansion, and they lost Ryan Miller to, I guess, retirement.
Yeah, retirement.
To the beaches.
Wow, I've never really thought about Anaheim. They did nothing.
They did nothing.
They
absolutely did nothing.
That's impressive for a team to just like sit and wait. And that half cap room is a big thing. Yeah. Like they have 13 million. It's not like they're cap strong.
Obviously, they've gone pretty hard on Jack Eichel, but they haven't pulled the trigger. So
yeah, speaking of that, I have some news on that may be helpful. I have heard from insiders and reading that the Anaheim Ducks have 2 prospects that are untouchable. I hear one of them for sure is Max Comtois, and the other one sounds like Trevor Zegras, which is kind of crazy because they got Jamie Drysdale as a prospect as well. So keep that in mind. Not saying that Eichel's going to Anaheim because I really don't see the fit right now, but
yeah. But if he does,
we know who's probably going to be in the deal, and it's going to be one of those 3 guaranteed, and it'll probably be Drysdale.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Which is crazy.
Because
he's so incredibly talented.
I picked him to win the Calder.
Yeah, no, I'm huge on Jamie Drysdale. I absolutely love his game, and I think he's so going to be an elite defenseman in the future. So
yeah, he's gonna be so good on that power play. Oh my god. Yeah, we looking at this team on paper. This team looks so good at times, but they just look so unexperienced.
It's just injuries, right?
Injuries.
Like it's inconsistency after inconsistency in this team.
Yeah,
like the only consistent pieces I can say, obviously John Gibson, and then I would
Fowler
say
being injured.
Yeah,
that's pretty consistent. Yeah. Happens every season.
And I would say Ryan Getzlaf, right?
Yeah,
like he knows his role now, and he plays it so well.
Yeah, well, the reason Edmonton went hard for Getzlaf, and this team, they're in the right position where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, their future really is bright, but right now it's kind of like, what are you doing?
I got nothing bad to say, but I got nothing great to say. Exactly. But that's a good thing.
What they did this offseason, there's not much to say.
Yeah, like you were just terrible last year, and like everything, like offensively are just horrible.
Couldn't score.
Second last in power play, like you're just nothing's looking good. At least you had a half-ass decent PK. They're 16th on the PK.
Not bad, actually. That's really good for them. That's really good for a team like that. Well, I guess Nick
Fleury looked like a good move until the expansion draft.
Yeah, I liked it. We were praising that at the deadline. Yeah. Like Anaheim, you may have just
need more minutes.
Yeah, this is a place. Give him some minutes, and then you lost him. Anyways,
no, I definitely really like this defense. It's not the worst in the league. They're at least I got them in 21st in the league-ish, and their forwards obviously just terrible, but goaltending's clutch. I got them in the top half of the league. I love so
solid.
I kind of love the forward group. Like the only thing I can say is that this team's like a death race car with no weapons, or one weapon or something like that. Because literally, it's
but the weapon's like a water balloon.
A water balloon that has Trevor Zegras'
a water balloon. A water balloon that you tape tacks to or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like
some tower defense shit.
You're just straight up relying on Zegras and Comtois this year.
It's not unlocked a memory I didn't remember I had. Jordan, holy crap! That's like grade 5. Balloon tower. Holy crap! Only the young people understand what that is. That's so funny.
Yeah,
that's so good. Sorry, Chase, I was cutting you
off.
It's all laughing. What are you saying?
No, it's all good. I'm just saying, I like how they can set up the forward group. They got a lot of nice pieces, and Henrik, Raquel, and Silverberg as those complement pieces to Lyons and Getzlaf, obviously.
Veteran guys.
So, yeah, you can really make a nice, good, not great top 9, but very competitive lines. A lot of promise on each line. My X factor on this team is just straight up growth. You need to look shitty, be shitty, and not look like this at the end of the year.
Absolutely.
That's always the goal. So just like the Wings have been. So nothing spectacular out of these guys. They're gonna be I got them 7th in the division.
Yeah, I got them 7th as well. My X factor as well. Health on key players, I would say. Just on guys you need to grow. It's basically growth. You need growth. I think their biggest demise could be being too good. As crazy as that sounds, I don't think it'll happen. But if they have a bad season, it'll probably be because they'll end up being a bubble team and miss, and they won't get a high draft pick. That would be my biggest fear in Anaheim right now. Or something like worst case is in Zegras not playing at all, or Zegras getting such a bad injury that's hard to recover at all from, or Comtois for that matter, whoever it is, they need to be bad.
The young guys need more experience.
Young guys need experience, and Anaheim needs to be bad. Just recoup a couple higher draft picks. Take your time with the rebuild. Be good when your players are ready to be good.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't rush it.
Great players, don't rush them.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if in 2 years they're starting to fight for a wild card spot or some sort within there. So
yeah,
just be patient. Just be patient in Anaheim. You got bright future ahead if you keep this up.
Yeah. So on to another team that didn't really do a whole lot. We've got San Jose.
Ugh.
They did bring in James Reimer. That was the one move they did make.
Aiden
They
Hill,
lost
too.
Ryan Donato to Seattle, and they lost Patrick Marleau.
Yeah, so 2 new goalies, Reimer and Hill.
Right, Aiden Hill as well.
Is better than Jones.
Yeah,
that's an upgrade. They actually upgraded.
They need to do that for years, so I guess yay.
I would put yay, I guess. Okay. So San Jose here. They look like the greatest team on paper, who are just gonna be the worst team in the league. They're gonna be bottom 5 without a doubt, in my mind. Bottom 3, I think.
Exactly. I have them there as well. I don't know what it is. I have so much promise for this team, but I still have them 4th last in the league.
Yes, I
don't know what to tell you guys. I'm sorry.
To me, they can't do it. There's what did I say earlier about Vegas and locker room? Well, this team's literally going through that right now with Evander Kane, and that's the biggest problem with them. If they lose Evander Kane, it's a good and a bad thing. Good because his voice is out of the dressing room, and bad because he's their highest goal scorer for the past 4 years.
Yeah, he's literally been their best player.
He's been their best player the past couple of years. So it's a catch-22. They're gonna be bad. But if he stays, I think a lot of players will be gone. I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin LeBanc is traded. Thomas Hertl will be traded, even if Kane's gone.
Yeah, I
wouldn't be surprised if Timo Meier asked for a trade out.
Yeah, I wonder how the bones get stripped here, because obviously you can't just trade everybody.
No.
But I don't know. I guess
they gotta start doing something.
That's
Hertl's the first one.
Yeah. Maybe they'll have some cap space.
They still have Kessel and Schmaltz and Keller, so
those
are 3 players.
They got 3
extra
NHL players.
Arizona's probably I would bet more Arizona to have a surprisingly better season than San Jose.
I do agree, though. I do agree because now that they've lost the majority of their team, they really have to build it smart and likely defensively.
Yeah,
I wouldn't agree with that. I have way more faith in the Sharks. Honestly, I could pump their tires for you guys, but even though I don't believe in it, but I can definitely pump their tires. They were 29th last year in power play percentage, but you have Carlson, you have Kane, maybe you have Meyer, you have Couture, you got Burns, you got Hertl. If these guys are there, you got young guys coming in like Dahlin and Balcers. These guys aren't useless. They've been just terrible years. This has not been going well. Obviously, but.
Yeah, I'd like to see a stat.
These guys are promising like this. If you guys would just play half decent, the X factor is just basically your defensive production and your power play. Because if these, Carlson, wake up, do something. Burns, wake up, do something. If you guys are actually playing, this team is going to be they're not going to be the bottom 4 team. Yeah. They'll be able to get themselves out of that.
And Burns are both capable of, but we just haven't really seen it for the past couple of years. They've been decent, sure, but.
Yeah,
we know there's a lot more to offer, right?
And you have players around you. You got Semek, you've got a couple young guys in Ferraro, Pickles, whatever. It is what it is. I know you're wasting a lot of money, but you still have Couture. You have a somewhat decent top 6 you can kind of pull off here. This is
huge
what's
now.
Happening.
You actually have a goaltender.
Yeah, that's a big factor. They actually have goaltending that Arizona doesn't.
They have had the worst goalies in the past 4 years, statistically.
Yeah, and we're going to figure out if that was their defense this year or if it's actually their goalies.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now we see
the answer is yes. It's both.
Okay.
This team
I'll wait to see that
so
because
bad.
Because if they still are in the bottom 5, 6, 7 in the league, then obviously it ain't their fucking. It had nothing to do with Martin Jones then.
I think
it sucks. You guys aren't doing shit then. It's
I think they'll do better in net and not let in 6 goals a game, but they're let in 4 goals a game. But
it's their bottom 6. They have a lot of other random players on it. I've heard a lot of good things about these random unknown prospects that they have that are Barabanov, Leonard. These are weird names. People don't really know these guys. I hardly know these guys.
Well, yeah.
There's a lot of promise about them. They need to just randomly come up and just step up and create the greatest bottom 6 for them to actually compete and get out of this bottom spot to where they are as well. It can't just be the defense, but if the defense is playing like this, like of course they're going to be last. Like,
well, yeah, it's I don't know. I don't see a bright spot. Like when your best defenseman's Radim Simek, and I like Simek, but he should be your third or fourth best defenseman at best. At best, he should be, and I think he's great, and he's a definite NHL player, second or third pairing guy. He shouldn't be your best guy. Erik Karlsson, I don't know what it is, but I don't have any faith in him anymore whatsoever. Brent Burns, I have a lot more faith in, but he's 36, and it makes sense that he's slowing down. Like he's getting there. I can't believe he's being paid till he's 40, but so is Pickle pretty much till he's 39. Pickle's just done. Like these guys are all turnstops. They all get blown by, and they all can. If they're fast enough to catch up, they can't defend.
Yeah,
that's the issue.
Exactly. Like I'm just here trying to pump their tires because like it's possible, guys.
Yeah.
But like
to me, it's like pumping a tire that's already fallen off.
Yeah, they're like a brand new toy that just doesn't work, or like you bring something home and you're just like, it's gonna be sweet, and you just go to use it, doesn't work, and you're like, fuck, I gotta like bring it back or something, or do whatever.
Use the analogy yesterday with San Jose. Before they got Karlsson, it was like, okay, got this brand new Mustang, but it's a 6-cylinder. To push it over the top needs to be an 8-cylinder. So you put an 8-cylinder engine. Then, as you do that, the engine blows up and the tranny falls out. That's exactly what happened to San Jose. They upgraded. They're like, oh shit, now we have to spend even more to get out of this. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I guess
just to go back to the 6-cylinder, they'll have to pay up the ass. Like, is what I'm saying. I know what you're saying. There are some pieces. I like pieces of this team.
I don't like it.
I don't like. I wonder if this team doesn't gel, whatsoever.
They have a good schedule. They get to play LA and Anaheim 4 times. They only
but LA and Anaheim are probably gonna smoke them.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's more embarrassing. Like, I'd at least rather play Vegas and get smoked by them because they're at least good. Like, if you get smoked by Anaheim, you're like, oh shit, we're Buffalo bad. We're Buffalo
bad. The Anaheim and LA series is 1-3. That's not good.
I don't have any faith. They're gonna strip this team to the bones. I think
we can all agree dead last in this division.
Yes, in this division for sure.
Get out of here.
Within the league, maybe bottom 5 for sure.
Yeah, I got them at bottom 4 or the 4th.
I got them third last in my head.
Nice. Got the Wings above them.
I do have the Wings above them. Wings are way better than them. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, your decor is so much better. Even I'd rather Hronek over any of their D-men, over any San Jose D-man.
Like I said, it's like something's got to give. This defense can't actually play like this continually. This is fucking sad.
Well, it has.
Embarrassing. It's been the last 2. It's been the COVID years. Like maybe this is fucking the fresh start. You know.
But they were bad before that too for 2 years.
When they got Karlsson, they looked pretty goddamn good. Went to the
for a
playoffs
year
and shit, and everything was great. But
and that was like what 2017.
Yeah,
2018.
Like I'm not trying to say they're gonna do great, but they fucking have a team that should easily. Like your defense is better than the fucking worst defense.
This is probably the best team on paper. That will be the absolute worst team in the NHL.
This is the team that I feel would be the one surprising team that would actually like come out of nowhere and get close to the playoffs because. Like you guys aren't that fucking. If you guys actually played to your talents,
but I also look at the teams around them.
You'd beat these other teams. Like
the teams around them are better too, though. Is where I'm looking. So it's a better league.
The last couple of years,
it's a better league.
Shit. They are shitty, but like that's what I'm saying. This could be a different whole. Like this could be a new San Jose Sharks. You see, because it's been a complete. Fucking garbage dumpster fire the last couple of years.
Looks like the same team to me.
Agree with you. I have them ranked at fucking 4th last, man.
Yeah. I know you agree. I know you do. I can't even like pretend to get behind this team right now. If I'm gonna take one team to just like give up on right away, it's this one.
No, I like these guys in like LA to be kind of surprising.
I like LA. Well, speaking of that, let's move into LA then.
Yeah. So LA did a couple really big things. They brought in Philip Deneau, they brought in Alexander Edler, and they also brought in Vic Arvidsson, losing Matt Luff.
Yeah, Matt
So
Luff.
basically nothing.
What do you mean? They also lost McDermott in the expansion draft. Actually, are they getting him back? Is this the team that he came back to his team? No, it wasn't.
Yeah, I don't know.
But no.
No, that was
There was a couple teams where they didn't even sign with Seattle, and they signed back. I'm pretty sure
Well,
the
the
guy
old
from Columbus.
Yeah, the old Bayreuther.
Yeah, Bayreuther did. That's who it was.
That's funny.
But yeah, LA. I like the direction they're going. I love their prospect pool.
Absolutely.
I don't love their decor. It's not bad by any means, but it's not. I feel like it's a year or two away from being actually solid. Matt Roy's okay. Sean Walker's pretty good.
Yeah, I like Sean Walker.
I like Bjornfot a lot. I think
he's gonna be good, but I wonder if he'll play
he's
a
still
lot.
young,
He's still 20.
I'm very interested in how he's going to play this year.
I'm intrigued to see how
he could be a
Clegg
big factor for this defense being good, because my X factor is this defense stepping up in a big way.
Besides Drew Doughty, of course.
Yeah, this young decor needs to step up. For me, my X factor, it's got to be Cal Peterson. Cal Peterson needs to prove he's a number one this year, and I think he's done well at like progressing each year at that. But I think this year is kind of a year. It's a contract year. If he wants to be paid like a starter and get minutes like a starter, he's got to prove it this year. And I think he's got a very good chance. What's that, sorry?
If he wants his $4 million.
Yeah, exactly. Which I think he'll probably end up getting like a 2-year, $3 million contract, bridge deal, no matter how he plays. Unless he plays like Demko did during his contract year and takes him to the playoffs and wins like a whole round against Vegas for them, or almost wins one. Then he'll get like $5 million. But I like this team. Just, I don't know who's going to be on the team next year. I know like their top 9 forwards and their top 4D probably. I got a good idea. But after that, there's so many young guys that can come in. Man. This camp is going to be, if you're not watching your own team's training camp, watch this one. This team. Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
If you look at their roster, there's so many guys that like, they're just like decent players. Like, don't include any of the prospects.
Yeah,
like they've already got like 12 guys to play.
Like, Dustin Brown, they're still like Austin
Trevor
Wagner,
Moore, all these other random guys. Like
they got
Austin
guys.
Wagner and all this stuff. Like,
is Carl Gunstrom gonna play all year this year? Is Gabe Velarde actually gonna play top 6? Like a lot of question marks, but a lot of good players that can make the jump.
They've got question marks, but they've actually got answers to.
They've got multiple answers, which makes me more comfortable saying they're gonna be better. Is why I think they don't look
in the right direction.
Yeah, to me, they don't look at better or worse than Anaheim, frankly, on paper.
No,
but I think they got a lot better pieces coming up that can make this team better now than Anaheim does. So. I think
like Anaheim has the defense and the goaltending, and LA's got a little bit more punch on offense.
But they got depth everywhere. LA.
Like
everywhere.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Don't forget their most recent draft pick.
Yeah, exactly.
Byfield.
Clark.
The recent one.
Yeah, Brad Clark
Yeah.
on decor. Who won't play this year, but
of course.
Well,
but
maybe he'll get him
now.
a couple preseason games, and they got a great defenseman coming. Well, they got a lot, like you mentioned. That's Tobias Bjornfoot. I think he could be an elite, top 4 guy. I think he's gonna be a really good defenseman. There's
a guy who can move up and down the line.
The worst case scenario for this team is all their young players suck and they just have a bad year. And if they do, is that really a terrible thing?
Yeah, then you get another high draft pick, right? And you're hoping maybe you can get another steal like Brant Clark.
Exactly. And I think no matter what happens to LA this year, it should be a good thing. It'll be a good thing. Wherever they finish. They finish low, okay, get a draft pick. They finish close to playoffs. That's where they're aiming for anyways. If they get in playoffs, then that's an amazing year.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
I got them finishing 5th.
Yeah, I do too.
I got them finishing 6th, and like, what is it in the league? Jeez, 23rd in the league, right behind Calgary. So
Yeah.
they might beside each other there. They were 7th last year in PK.
Well, really? I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
Kopitar, and they're
awesome.
gonna be even better. They might be better this year.
They got Dano, hey.
They got Dano, Kopitar. Who else would they play on the line? I imagine.
Well, they got.
Well, Iafallo
so many
plays.
of those young guys. Like they got so many young guys.
Yeah,
like we're talking PK. We're talking Wagner
Trevor
and
Moore,
all those
Wagner,
other random.
Brendan Lemieux.
Yeah.
They got some great guys there.
Dustin Brown.
Yeah.
He's good.
He's been
PK.
pretty amazing.
Man,
hey? Like,
he's been pretty good. If he can do half what he did last year, they're gonna get a 2nd-round pick for him at the deadline for a 36-year-old making $6 million basically. Like that's so impressive.
Personally, I don't see him ever leaving, but
I don't think he'll leave.
He would have that value. Right.
Exactly. If he wanted to go, and try and win a cup, but like, know what he could easily do is just go, hey, can I go play for this team for 3 months and I'll come sign back? Because I love it here on league in 1 year. Just let me be in the locker room.
Yeah.
Or he'll retire. He might just retire this year. He is 36.
Yeah, he's getting up there, right? Like, who knows?
Never know. But
yeah, no, things are looking actually pretty damn good in LA. Like last year, Kopi and Doughty had a pretty good power play point.
Man.
Pace. Like Kopi had 33. He was on pace for 33 points in an 82-game season last year on the power play.
Yeah, and last Doughty year on LA, he got 50 points in 56 games. Like,
yeah, Kopi's
for a defensive
awesome.
center, he's so good.
Yeah, like I was saying, this is one of those teams where I can see them being a lot better than we think, just because you have a guy like Kopi, you have Dano to take the load off of him. You got guys in Velarde, Byfield, like who knows who's going to be the third line centerman on this team.
That's it. Their center depth right
those
now.
Guys, like I don't know, maybe they'll just play those guys on the wing with Kopi or something. Like,
yep.
Yeah, you got like I said, you have so many forwards to choose from. I have no idea how this is going to pan out. In all reality, none of these young guys have a spot on the team if you look at the established guys that have played games and stuff like that. Like even a Blake Lizout technically would have more seniority or whatever. But like obviously you're going to play some of these young guys. You're not just going to.
Byfield's the exception.
Byfield probably not. Like with the whole year off.
Byfield's ahead. Yeah. Well, he played in the A. He played in the AHL.
Yeah, but like it's not like they had like a real season and stuff like that. Like these guys haven't had an actual full season. So like no, it's a lot of promise. This forward group is really good. I think they can surprise. Like I said, defense stepping up in a big way is the X factor. Because if they do that, I think they hop over Calgary easily. If Calgary doesn't get going too well on their special teams. I already
have them over Calgary.
Because I think LA's special teams. That's the war. Is Calgary and LA. The special teams. Whoever wins that battle, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Ends up ahead of one another.
And we know that, well, even though we can almost scratch off their PK because we know LA's PK is going to be good. Upgrading it to Philip Deneau, like, it's amazing.
Yeah, and just having Edler even is kind of nice.
Yeah, even Edler's not bad to have in the team. And it kind of caught me a little off guard when they signed it, but it helps with having such a young decor. So
yeah, I think he was going to re-sign.
Yeah, I thought he was saying that.
Hey,
cheap. I thought he was going to stay there for cheap. He's like, I've been there my whole life.
Yeah, exactly.
They're actually starting to become decent. But maybe they'll be good because he isn't there.
I'm fully
as bad as that sounds. I like Edler, but
they gave him $6 million for 2 years or 3 years. Whatever that last contract was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. He was not worth that much. Whether lots of people love Edler, like the Vancouver fans, obviously, mostly like Edler, but like he's just way overrated. He's very sound, but he's not anything spectacular and. You guys just you leaned on him way too long. Is all.
A little too long. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. And paid him like it a little too long too. So, and that's how you lost to Foley. I'll tell you that right now. Yes. You lost to Foley because you paid Edler that extra fucking year, like $6 million. So.
You lost to Foley because Jim Penning is your GM. Actually, a lot of problems in Vancouver can be attributed to Jim Benning not putting his checkbook away. And thinking he needs to blow the bank to keep his team. So,
yeah.
But LA, they're gonna be great. No matter what direction they go, they'll be a good team to watch. Keep an eye on this team all year because within a year or two, they're going to be pushing the door on playoffs easy.
For sure. Next, we've got Edmonton. Speaking of pushing the door on playoffs.
The Connor Leon Oilers.
Top, they want to be top 10, I guess, is the goal. Hey?
Yeah. So they made a bunch of moves. They brought in Zach Hyman, Duncan Keith, and Cody Ceci.
Oh yeah, Warren Fogle in there too. Got that Warren Fogle on the wing. He's a big piece. Derek Ryan, third line center.
Yeah.
All tasty acquisitions.
Kept Chris Russell. Gotta love to see that.
Oh yeah.
They did, however, lose a few decent pieces. They lost Ethan Bear, Adam Larson, and Dominic Cahoon.
Yeah. Where to start? Should we start with?
Do they still have tourists? Yeah, I think they do.
Yeah, they do.
Nice.
One more year at 1.6. He will be playing in the press box this year. Is what will be happening. Kyle Turris, he's pretty bad, frankly. I don't know what happened to him. Like he was solid.
About a sleeper.
And last year I remember Jordan. Everyone was saying this though, but Jordan and I were saying he might be a sleeper for like 30 points on this team. Be a great third line center, and oh boy, were we wrong. But. Enough shit talking Edmonton. This team's going to be good. This team's going to be very good. Their X factor is definitely they have wingers now. So that helps. They have wingers play with McDavid and Draisaitl.
Yeah. Notably Zach Hyman, right?
And Fogle, I think, will get a good chance up there. I really like Fogle. I think he's going to be good. I love Zach Hyman. I think Zach Hyman, if he wasn't to stay in Toronto, this probably was his next best home, was Edmonton.
Agreed.
Their decor, I don't hate it. I don't love it. Cody Ceci, if you use Cody Ceci right, Cody Ceci is a good defenseman. Problem is, I don't think Edmonton is going to use Cody Ceci right, and they're going to try and use him like Adam Larson. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Cody Ceci is a two-way, make it simple defenseman. And honestly, I think he's more offensive than defensive, crazy enough. We'll see how the Duncan Keith stuff goes. The demise is pretty obvious. Their goaltending shockingly bad. Well, it's not shocking. Yeah, Mike Smith, but if he's 29, if he doesn't
stats-wise, technically they're good.
Stats-wise, they're good, but I think Koskinen is probably the worst goalie in the league. Arguably one of the worst that's a tandem or better. I think I'm pretty fair in saying that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would rather San Jose's goalie tandem.
He's not a terrible backup, but he's not in the.
He's not a terrible backup.
Yes, that's for sure.
He's not a terrible backup, but he's a terrible tandem, is what I'll say. He can play 15 to 25 games and be okay, and you'll survive. But you better hope you got a really good number one. And Mike Smith is. We're all waiting. When is the sunset gonna rise? When is the retirement home gonna preset his bed? Like, when is?
Yeah, I'm not as scared about Koskinen as you're kind of saying. I don't think he's that bad. He doesn't get the numbers. A lot of the hate on him is straight up because he's just forced into terrible situations and had to deal with crappy sort of situations. I'm not saying that he's consistent. He is not consistent. It's been tough for him, but
I think it's also a sour taste because terrible. Yeah, but $4.5 million.
I'm not saying the contract's nice. No, but I don't want to say I don't want to say he's terrible because I think he'll do fine this year. I don't see why he'd be horrible. He hasn't really been actually horrible. He definitely just lets in random goals sometimes, which is not good. But like we said, he's not like your upper echelon fucking backup goalie. But you need Smith to do something, or else it's gonna be. You don't want to rely on him because you relied on him, played him 19 games in a row, and you all hate him now. So
it's okay. So my reasoning is where Edmonton wants to be. This goaltending isn't good enough at all, and and I'm not saying that Edmonton's gonna miss because they have Koskinen and Smith. but they might not get top 10 in the league because of it, which is super important for Edmonton. They need to show that they're a consistently good regular season team so they can work out the playoffs. And if your goaltending is letting you down, that you're battling just to get in, it doesn't work. You can spend all the money you want on your forward and defense. If you don't have a good enough goalie in that, you're screwed.
Yeah, exactly.
We've seen that. Yeah. You don't win a cup without a goalie. You don't win playoff rounds without a goalie.
So that's why a hot goalie.
Yeah, that's why my X factor is goaltending, and my demise is goaltending. Because this whole team relies on these goalies. Actually, just like Mike Smith was like a top 10 fucking goalie last year. Like his was like a 920 some save percentage. This guy was like
he was so good
actually unreal.
He was unreal. But my thing, he's 39.
Not probably gonna happen again, like as good as that. But like, it's the worry there. The defense is definitely kind of sketchy for me.
Here and there.
I love to believe in the Bouchard-Keith combo. I think it will be all right.
I think it'll be okay. It won't be as bad as Keith. Won't be as bad as people are saying.
Yeah,
but he's not. He's not Chicago Duncan Keith anymore. He's not 2012 or 2010 to 2015 Duncan Keith anymore. Yeah. And that's fine. He's 38, but
yeah. But I think with that bottom four defense you got there with Russell and CC, and you could even have Sam Marukov, Broberg, a couple other guys that are in the mix for possibly taking Russell's job or whatever. Yeah. So, like, as long as they split the time up decently.
This is going to be huge on how they use their defense this year. I wonder if that might be more important than anything on this team. Because like I said,
you should feel somewhat safe about with Tippett in there. He's pretty
all right. I just look at you can look at individual defensemen, all the individual, and you can be like, okay, so this is his problem here. The only one you might not be able to as much is like Darnell Nurse, where I think he's pretty sound everywhere. He can score.
Yeah, like they got to play.
As long as he's fit,
playing that first line,
if he's playing 25 minutes 29 minutes, honestly, if he plays like 25 plus minutes, I'd feel a lot more confident in Edmonton's decor. Like, but it's not something where I'm worried about this decor because they're bad. Just don't put them in the situations to fail. It's that simple. Don't put Tyson Barrie on your PK. Don't play Cody Ceci in only defensive zone draws. Don't treat Keith like he's still a Norris capable defenseman. Don't treat Chris Russell like he's an everyday NHLer. Like, it's simple like that. It's simple stuff. Evan Bouchard, ease him in. If he's struggling, send him down, let him get his head back. Bring him back up. You just gotta be patient with some of these guys.
Be smart about it.
Be smart about it. That's all If Edmonton can be smart, they're totally fine. They'll get top 10 without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
And it'd be nice if I'd have a lot more confidence if they got another goalie.
Yeah, completely.
Even just another tandem who's like decent. Players. Like, I would almost like, I know he's signed and all that, but like a player like Reimer, who's just like, okay, we're in a pinch. We need you to play some games. Like, worst case, I would like that in Edmonton. But I guess we'll see. They're second in mine. They're obviously second in mine. McDavid's gonna light it up.
Well.
Their forwards are their forwards are so good, man.
McDavid's there.
McDavid and Draisaitl are there. Like, that's two of the at least top 10 players in the league. Probably top 5 if you're asking the right people. I got nothing else to say about this team because I don't want to shit on them too bad because there's a lot I like, but there's just some stuff holding me back on this team from being like they can make a run. I think they're good enough to be comfortably playoff team, but I fear about making a playoff run with that goaltending is what I'll say.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, like I got them at 12th overall, so sorry you guys aren't going to get into the top 10, but it's close.
It's doable.
It's close.
It's definitely doable. If their goaltending does better than what we think, then they'll be top 10.
One thing that's pretty crazy is that when I did my grading, if I didn't have the power play and the PK involved, they were not in the playoffs. So that's clearly a big reason to why they've been good. They've been the number one power play for the last 2 years. Completely psychotic. It's actually insane how well they do, but that's quite clear with guys like McDavid and Draisaitl averaging 30-some career points on the power play. Yeah, like you were talking about defense and goaltending, it's sketchy. Like you're just worried about it. You're just not 100% sure. You want to see it so then you can calm down a little bit, sort of thing. To me, they feel like they're like a Mustang in winter. Looks real good, but the back end probably going to be slipping around.
Yeah,
this, that, and the other thing. But yeah,
you're gonna fishtail a few times with this team, that's for sure.
Yeah, the schedule's decent. You got a somewhat up schedule from division wise, I guess. Not that it means much. You're in a weak division, should be easy enough to get up there. Yeah, it's like I got them first in power play. They're 9th last year in PK, which I don't see that falling down. Then I guess I have them down at a mid pack range now, but
they were 9th in PK.
Yeah, man.
Fuck? I think that'll drop because of Larson, personally.
With the defense and stuff.
They'll drop to 15.
The thing that scares me is exactly their defense is one guy gets hurt and what the fuck are you gonna do? What do you actually do if one guy?
You better hope Broberg comes up and just lights it up or something.
Yeah, somebody would have to instantly just light it up.
Oh, I got it.
Problem solved.
Problem solved. Chris Russell.
Yeah, the old Edmonton boy.
Go with the Slater Cuckoo instead. I mean, that's probably that might be better than Chris Russell now.
Yeah, other guys I like to bring up are McLeod and Lavoie. Maybe I don't know if Lavoie will actually play or not, but I think he would be good. Another team that just has a lot of random forwards that they'll probably play over the young guys. But I really would like to see McLeod, Lavoie, and Benson find a way to get onto this team and make an impact instead of having Shore and Archibald. And I'm assuming Cassian's going to be out the door in the next year or two unless they can find a way to get a goalie some other way without getting rid of him. So, but
one thing I will say about Edmonton's young players there too, their prospects, Dylan Holloway just got injured. So don't expect him in the lineup this year at all, probably.
Oh, just after everybody was like, hey, he might play this year.
Yeah.
This is the first I'm hearing of that. And then,
I can't remember because I read so many injuries in the past few days. I want to say he broke his wrist and had surgery or something, but I could be completely wrong. I will Google that while you guys talk. But keep that in mind. That's why we're not bringing up Dylan Holloway because he is injured. He's there, but he is very injured right now.
Yeah. I like Puljujarvi and Yamamoto's year this year. I think they're going to easily just play much more consistent. They actually weren't too bad last year. It's just getting the points together. I think with the additions of Hyman and Fogle, that puts the weight a little bit less on them, and they can kind of piss around a little bit and not be jumping into corners and doing all that other sort of crap they're not so great at exactly. So I think the additions just truly balance this forward group. Like I said, I think this top 6 is the best in the league. This is going to be scary and hard to deal with. It's just as long as the defense stays together. You got Nurse. He was a top 5 fucking Norris voted guy. It's just finding a way to balance your minutes between all these other guys that are not great at this, but good at this, or medium at this. And I can only play this many minutes So that'll be tough. Honestly, they really need a young D-man to step in and fucking make things happen. So then they can
really need it.
Not have that extra little worry in the back of their mind.
Yes.
And, the other thing I wanted to bring up was Skinner and these other goalies they have. It'd almost be good for one of these goalies to get hurt so they can pull one of these guys up and see what they have in Skinner or Rodriguez.
Well, looking at who their goalies are, I don't see that being impossible at all. The youngest one being 33, Mikko Koskinen, out of their top 3 goalies. Well, they got Stalock is the issue too, though. He'll play. Game.
Stalock is. I loved Stalock when he was in Minnesota. I loved his hand, or in San Jose. I just love that guy. Never seen a guy with just such gross hands as a goalie.
For Dylan Holloway, it was a wrist injury. He's out for 3 months with his second wrist surgery. So, that's why he won't be playing goalie here. I doubt he'll play even in the NHL at the end of the year, frankly, unless he's lighting up the AHL. I highly unlikely. So the team you see on Cap Friendly is probably a team they're rolling out with, and they're going to be good. Like we said, they're going to be top 2. But I don't know. Question mark.
More
for
how
playoff.
it all comes together.
It's more how it comes together for the playoffs. Yeah, this team is more. I'd be more worried, and I wouldn't be worried.
I'm worried about the playoffs. I'm worried about.
Talk
the playoffs,
to me
exactly.
after the deadline on how I feel about this team, and I'll give you a better answer. How about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Because they can get a goalie in that time. They can get a better D-man. Like, I'm not saying this team can't be improved. I'm saying any of these teams can't be improved, but there is areas to improve.
Yep.
So
completely agree. So
but look for Kenny to do the classic trade deadline, giving up assets for somebody.
Yeah, and then complain about it the summer after, saying we gave up too many assets for Athanasiou. Not doing that again.
So moving on to our final team, the Seattle Kraken. So obviously they added a whole new team.
I thought they were called the West New York Islanders.
But the key
indeed. Fully agree.
Sorry,
Schwartz. It's okay. The key ads were Schwartz, Vince Dunn, Grubauer, Drieger, Giordano, Jordan Eberle, and Yanni Gord. They lost Vitek Vanasek and a few other.
And Pitlick, technically, if you count that, they didn't play a game for them, so it doesn't even really
exactly
count.
Right. That's kind of like an asterisk.
Yeah, I feel like I explained this team just before, saying that they're the West Islanders. That's what Chase has been saying all week. So
basically are. Hey, like
seems pretty
I
fitting.
guess the Islanders don't have the actual extra D-man. I need another D-man on the Islanders team to feel a little bit more comfortable with that team.
They have the extra forward.
Exactly.
Exactly. In Barzal. So.
Yeah, though this defense, I guess it doesn't really matter. Defense goalies, great. The goalies,
they're gonna win from the back end. It's like the reverse of the sports car in winter.
Yeah, no doubt. It's nice balance. Like, I really like the balance. That's for sure. You got all the tangibles you need on every spot. You can make great pairings on defense. Like,
you
can got the extra D-man
any way you want to.
It's real nice. You've got Dunn, you've got Giordano, you've got 2 options on the power play. So these guys' power play stats are not great. Any of these guys. McCann last year was the best guy that looks on pace for 19 points this year.
He was
from what he's done last year.
One note: McCann was on Penguins' second power play as well, so it wasn't even on the first power. He was on the first a little bit for injuries, when we were injury prone, but he's mainly a second
Lots of these guys were all second line power play guys. Like Donskoy was probably on the second line power play. He played last year was the only time he got power play points.
Yeah,
but he's looking at 13 over an 82 game season, so like that's not bad. That's promise. Schwartz has been getting 13 over the last 8 years, so may the Schwartz be with you. And Eberle's has a 15-point power play points per year for his career.
Makes me think of Spaceballs. Oh my god, I love that movie.
Fucking the best movie.
Oh my god, can we take a minute to talk about Spaceballs? Jordan, have you seen Spaceballs?
Yes, of course.
Oh my god.
Thank you.
I see your Schwartz is as big as mine. Oh my god. It's so good.
Oh my god. It's jammed.
We've been jammed. Oh, that movie's the
Raspberry
best.
Lone Star.
You guys got
Rick Moranis classic.
It's the fucking greatest movie in the world.
It's so good. We watched that in grade 6 one year in school.
What?
Yeah, our teacher.
No way.
Our teacher let us watch it. It's so good. Oh, sorry. Back to Seattle, but that movie's if you haven't seen Spaceballs, go watch Spaceballs. But back to Seattle.
You're missing out on life. Literally, you're missing out on life. You don't know what "we've gone plaid" means, then fuck you. But yeah, sorry. Back to the power play I was kind of talking about. These guys have decent stats, and they haven't been playing on the first line power play, so I don't have them in a mid pack. I feel like they're going to be projected near the bottom 10 of the league on the power play, but there's promise here on the power play. You even have guys like Wenberg, who I really believe in on this team. I think he will be your William Karlsson. I believe at the time of the last expansion with Karlsson there, Wenberg was pretty hurt in a sense, or kind of disappointed that like there weren't really eyes on him to go and be that guy. And I think there's a reason why he signed a 1-year contract, I believe, with Florida and was a UFA and ended up on Seattle this year. It's all because he wants to show you he can fucking do what Karlsson did. Because I'm sure they're buddies. I bet they still talk to this time, you know?
Yeah.
Growing up in the same organization. So
yes.
He's my kind of like, watch out for him to be.
For sure.
Like, this guy can get mad points. I don't think
I'm
he'll get
excited
30,
to
40
see how
goals,
he does.
but he's a fucking playmaker. Great playmaker. So if you want to create an offensive line, I think he's your man. And then you get Gord with your second line. I'm starting to like Donskoy or Schwartz with Gord to create a more just a pain in the ass line. You know, Gord has to be the pain in the ass line, right?
Yes, he's got to be your defensive top, shutting down the top line guy.
Yeah. The only issue is that Gord is hurt for the next little bit. He won't be back till like the very earliest November, so probably closer to December. The schedule I was looking at it off the start really doesn't look that terrible off the start for like as long as you stay 500. That's my X factor. Factor is like just stay 500 while Gord's not here.
Looking at that,
because if you can do that, then like
should be.
Good. I think you should be good. So top 12 fucking defense. Forwards, I only have them at like 22, so nothing great. Their schedule in their division looks all right. They get to play LA and San Jose 4 times. That's always nice. I don't know really what else. Like, there's so much to say about it because there's a lot of new pieces, obviously, and how it's going to work. But
it's kind of just a wait and see, right?
Yeah, exactly. I have a lot of promise on this team. I have them 4th in the division, but I'm not going to tell you if they make the playoffs yet.
I have them
find that out next year or next episode.
Next episode.
I have them 3rd. I really like how this team was built. I love that they decided to go from the goaltending and defense up. I think that was extremely smart. It's been proven in the past that defensive teams can work with, you know, showing that guys that you wouldn't necessarily see being really good come out and be very good because they just know the game defensively, right? So I really love that was the way they decided to draft this team. I love the promise of it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised they drafted that way too. That's how Ron Francis made Carolina. Not surprised. Very successful doing it that way for Carolina.
Yeah, it was so bad that they like had to create like a big moment there before the draft and say, "We are picking a forward this year." Like, Jesus Christ, you guys! Like, yeah, we know you've been picking defense.
Yeah, you're gonna pick up
like,
but
I think that was the Svechnikov year.
No, this team, great defense. I love the depth in there. Like, Jeremy Luazon is your, like, 6'7" D-man. That's awesome. Like, that's awesome.
Fuck yeah. And he was Hackstall's fucking, like, apparently Hackstall loved Luazon or something like that. Some sort of ties with him.
Yeah, I heard there's no doubt that that's who they're picking from Boston every day.
I believe with Liaison, the tie was the assistant coach was an absolute, like, huge fan with him and had worked with him previously.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
And then,
my demise is the power play, I would say. If the power play doesn't work.
Yeah, like scoring.
This is not going to go
right.
Yeah, like basically scoring in general. I have them projected very low in a sense. Like, I guess 22nd in forwards really isn't too bad. Like, the Islanders and Montreal ended up there production-wise out of their top 6 last year. So, like, I don't know, maybe it's okay. But yeah, like, if the power play doesn't do anything, I'm a little worried about where this team is going to go.
Yeah. My X factor is, honestly, it's going to be goals against. A little bit different. I think they're going to be one of the better teams for goals against that will, if they're going to be a playoff team, that's how they're going to do it. Right. I wouldn't be surprised if they're top 5, if I'm being honest, with how good I look at this decor. If it can gel, if it can gel properly and this tandem works out, which I don't see how it couldn't. Both of these guys could be starters on
Mhm.
certain. Like both these goalies are far better than Edmonton's, San Jose's. I look at this.
Yeah.
I look at this division. I would take this goaltending over Calgary, and Markstrom barely. Edmonton, LA, San Jose, like.
Yeah, you want a goalie tandem or at least a goalie that installs confidence.
And both of these guys do.
So, yeah, exactly. Hey,
big fan. The Jaden Schwartz sign, I think, is huge for them, which helps their offense. But their demise will be offense. Frankly, I'm just gonna say offense in general. They need to be able to score better than Montreal can. Let's put it that way, because Montreal is the best team I can use where the Islanders system doesn't work as well. Because they play defensive, but they barely score enough to get the playoffs. If they weren't in the certain divisions they were in the past couple of years, they wouldn't have been there. Well, and they shouldn't have been there like 2 years ago in the play-in. Like, that play-in stuff was stupid.
Sorry, all these Montreal guys are going off about making the playoffs and stuff like that. Like, if you were in Seattle's division, yes, you do make the playoffs.
Exactly.
But you're not making the playoffs on that side. Because, it's...
Yeah, they're not. Montreal's just not.
Like, that's
exactly
why
what I'm saying with the Island. Like,
yeah, exactly.
The Islanders are a team that do it. They make the play. They make sure they can get to the playoffs, but they play that system through and through every game in the playoffs. It works. So Seattle, I love their chance to get in. I have them at 4th. I will also let you know whether they make the playoffs next episode or not, whether they're one of my wildcard teams or not. But they're definitely in the mix. Definitely right there in the mix for me.
Yeah, I don't see why not. Like, in all reality, the team will probably just get better. Like, the only thing that's going to destroy this team is injuries.
Yeah. Yeah, like, hopefully they don't have to do what Vegas did and play
even
high school goalie in net in the first 3 weeks of the season because 6 goalies got hurt.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, like, the offense could be shitty, and you can still probably get right around the playoffs. So
absolutely, especially in this division.
Yeah, exactly. Because, like, it's going to be easy to fucking stop people, that's for sure.
yeah. They're going to do so good against these offensive-driven teams, I think.
All the players on their team, they got a very two-way. Yarn, Croak, Donskoy, Appleton, Bastian, Blackwell, even Tanev, like these guys, Schwartz, like these guys are just awesome.
Yeah. Awesome players. I'm excited to see how Mason Appleton does this year because I think he's going to provide a lot of their goal scoring, especially in their third line.
Yeah,
the secondary for sure, man.
Right.
You know what I want to see so bad with this team? I want them to get that 4th wildcard spot, and I want them to play Vegas in the first round. How great would that be?
That'd be so cool.
How amazing would that be? The 2 expansion teams, first round of the playoffs.
That would be so awesome. Yeah, that's very possible.
It's very possible. I'd love to see if I could see teams play each other in the playoffs. I want to see Boston, Toronto, Tampa, Florida again, Seattle, Vegas. I would like to see one more Pittsburgh, Washington, where Pittsburgh wins.
Yeah,
again.
I think one more of that would be really fun.
One more where Pittsburgh lights them up would be real fun.
No doubt.
There's a couple.
One thing I'd like, if we're talking about playoffs, like one thing about Seattle is they do have what's his name, Matty Beniers, man. Like he can play for you guys in the playoffs if you guys get there. Like, I don't know. This is pretty cool. I like this team. It's kind of crazy, but I didn't really think I'd believe in them that much, but I'm looking at these players. A lot of these guys are guys I've always really followed for like quite a while, weirdly enough. Like forward wise, like in Donskoy, Appleton, Yarncroak. Like I've been watching Yarncroak forever. Like I thought he was gonna be way better than he is.
Jordan Eberle, like
what if he can become that Riley Smith or something? What if like Yarncroak can be or Riley Smith in Vegas or like you just need these guys to try and become better than they were with more ice time. It's crazy what ice time can do to certain players. William Karlsson was the best example of that.
Like Donskoy should be a pretty good goal scorer for this team because
will probably be
half-assed that guy. He hasn't been that guy. He's not that guy or anything, but like he's half-assed, has that good scoring touch and that sort of tenacity. Put him on this team, all of a sudden he has extra minutes, has all the goal scoring opportunities. Well, this guy's going to definitely score goals then.
Yeah,
because like
get
an
extra 10.
That he can somewhat do it. Like he's not like Wenberg, where Wenberg gets like 10 goals maybe or something like that. Like Donskoy can get you 20 goals. Well, what about on this team? playing
He
18,
might,
17,
he might be
being
able
the
to just
guy
25,
that
30.
can put it in the net, and everybody's passing to you, so.
Yeah, there's a couple of guys that have some really good opportunities.
That's why I like what Jordan's saying about Appleton. He's exactly like that. Like,
yes,
he might be able to just get you goals. Like, that's what they're going to be looking for, is the guy
so
to
good.
pass to. Who's the guy that's going to throw it in the back of the net? And I see Donskoy and Appleton as big factors on that one.
Completely agree.
I just don't know past that who's scoring goals, because Eberle's never been a big goal scorer. Schwartz has never been a big goal scorer. No. They've been very 50-50. Yeah, exactly. Are we going to get Gio and Dunn getting mad?
I wouldn't know what.
Another Norris year.
No, what? What if Vince Dunn comes out and puts out like 15,
That'd be
20,
cool.
15, 20 goals? Like, he could do it.
Yeah,
he could put up 15 goals, Vince Dunn. He's got that capability. If he plays first power play over Gio, that would be my only reasoning he wouldn't. Or with Gio. For all we know, they could play them both on the top pair if they really wanted to.
Yeah, for sure.
Then I'd be worried about the second pair quarterback, but I mean, you could throw Hayden Fleury in there, I guess. Yeah, this team's going to be solid. Like, that's how they're built, though. That's how expansion teams are now. They used to be awful. Like, before Cap era, Washington Capitals, when they came in, for example, were like the worst team in history.
One of the worst teams in history. Yeah.
Did you know, fun, random, means nothing fact, that the captain who had the lowest plus-minus season in regular season hockey was the Washington Capitals captain in like the 70s, and he had like a minus 60 or 56 as a D-man or something like that. It was really bad. I can't remember his name, but like, just some random fact right there. He was a minus like 58 or something crazy like that. He was not a leader out there. Actually, it might have been Washington's first ever captain.
Jesus.
So that would be that's pretty neat.
No doubt. Excited to see this team. How they're going to play.
That's probably Doug Mons, if I had to guess.
Yes, that's who it is. That is who it is. It's Doug Mons. I recognize the name, so it has to be him.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, he was real bad out there. But no, should we that's all the teams, hey? That's all of our teams. Cool. Well, let's go through quick each position. And we did last episode that, again, can't post. Who is the best forward? The most important forward in this, let's say, in this division? Who would you say is going to light it up? McDavid, probably. But
who's going to do the best, or who's going to be the MVP for their team?
Who's going to do the best, let's say? Whether it's offense, you can interpret that however which way you want, whether it's via points, defensively, whatever it is. Who is the best forward? I mean, I'm going McDavid. I'm just not I'm not overcomplicating it. It's McDavid. It'll be a lot more fun when we do the other three divisions, and it's not McDavid
it's hard
in there.
To bet against them, right? He's a bit good at hockey. So.
Yeah, so I mean, I think I might as well just move.
Like other than McDavid, I guess like if you want to go for like an MVP or somebody that's like really going to be key for a team, I would say like Yanni Gourde is going to be a very big key cog to just making sure if
LA make it,
the
oil's
clean and stuff like that. So
yeah, there's certain teams. There's a lot like Mark Stone in Vegas. Like, what if he puts up 90 plus points? He could be that.
Yeah, he's pretty madness, man.
So Pedersen as well. He could put up 80 points and be crazy.
Johnny Hockey.
Yeah, Johnny Hockey's in this. Matthew Tkachuk. Like, there's a lot of good ones, but you go McDavid because it's McDavid.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, D-man, who do you think will be the best D-man in this division next year?
I'm going to say what I said last time, and I'm going to say Doughty first, and then change it to Nurse. But I do really like Doughty because last year he was power play. He was on 26 points is what he was going to possibly get in the 82 games. So I think things are looking up for him. I think he wants to be way better than he has been. And he kind of has to with the defense around him in a sense. I do want to keep Doughty, even though Nurse is kind of clearly, if Nurse isn't so good, like that's not good at all for Edmonton. Hey, so
yeah,
Yeah, I guess my second choice is Nurse because Doughty wants to play in the Olympics. That's why I'm picking Doughty.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. I haven't even thought about that aspect. Players will play harder to play in the Olympics, some of these vets.
Yeah, man, that's one thing I'm trying to consider is like how much the Olympics is going to affect. Like, I do not believe McDavid's getting 150 points this year because there is Olympics.
Yeah.
And it's also the other weird factor we can throw in is the COVID. Yeah. That can also, like, I can almost guarantee you that one of these teams is probably going to fall apart because of COVID. Like,
yeah. Well, one, they did
it's
last
almost
year.
guaranteed.
Vancouver did last year.
Already happened. And yeah, like, hopefully not for the betterment of the league and all that sort of stuff.
Please, and if it is a team, just make it like Jesus. Buffalo, so like at least it doesn't matter for the standings.
Yeah, no doubt, man, no doubt. Hey,
but no, hopefully no team. I'm obviously joking. Hopefully no team gets COVID. Like that would be terrible. I want to see a fluent season. I want this shit back to normal. I'm so done. I'm so done with the world now. I just want it back to normal. Where we don't have to look over our shoulder about that. For my D-man, I'm going to go with Shea Theodore. I think he's going to light it up this year. It's going to help playing next to Pietrangelo. Obviously, he's going to make him look even better. I think he's going to score so many points because nobody scores for Vegas' offense as much as other teams anyways. So I think he's going to pick up a lot of goal slack and have a really good season. I also have a runner-up mention. I like Quinn Hughes for it. He's got an extra D-man to help him behind, so he's got less responsibilities everywhere. So I think he's going to have a better season if he's actually signed. So I'll go with those two.
Yeah, that's kind of important.
Yeah, he needs to be signed. Jim Benning, don't fuck it up. Anyways, Jordan.
You know what? I've been thinking about this a lot. And I'm actually going to go with Chris Tanev.
Oh my god, I knew you were going to fucking say that. I knew you were going to say Calgary person. As soon as you're like, know what? I'm actually thinking about it. And I'm like, oh no, he's going to galaxy brain it.
Yeah, because the Flames need a guy to step up. Chris Tanev had a hell of a season last year. Why can't Chris Tanev step up?
Best analytical player of all time.
Exactly.
So. Yeah, if you listen to Brandon Tanev and how he talked about Chris Tanev, having him in the top 10 best players in the league. He believes he can bring the old offensive aspect. Oh yeah, there we go. Count it.
At what, 31? Hasn't done it yet. Hasn't done it yet, but at 31 years old, Chris Tanev's going to pot 15 goals and 50 points.
Yeah.
No, I understand where you're coming from. If Calgary's a good year, it's most likely going to be because of one of those three guys having a crazy year.
Yeah,
that is definitely a shot in the dark.
Yeah,
it's a hot take.
Otherwise,
for sure.
I'm just gonna say Pietrangelo because he's so fucking good.
Yeah, he is so
no
good.
No doubt.
And yeah, well, that is our Pacific Division review. Next week we will be doing the Central Division and also letting you know who gets what wild card spot where. Because Chase and I didn't tell you. Or I guess all three of us didn't mention or if the fourth place got a wild card. So we'll mention that next week. Good news for people. It's not gonna matter if you're listening on Spotify or anything, but we just made a YouTube channel. Go follow it. We're gonna start posting our podcasts on there, and we're also gonna have individual stuff, group stuff that we're gonna do on there just for short videos. So if you're interested, go follow. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got. And go follow our social medias on social. Our social medias on social, Twitter, Instagram, social. Follow us on
social.
Yes, all of it. Follow us at social.twitter.social. No, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the Couch on Ice. That's been this week's review. We'll catch you guys next week. Have a good week.
Peace out.
Peace.